love watching those drawn-out middle-link Banes, eventually Ultralisk games on this map. I've seen a couple of really fantastic ZvTs here. Polt versus Soppy is one that I will truly never forget. I think during the Battlegrounds Atlanta, that was such a cool game. But after that, I had one more game like that, which was almost as good. I think there was another Polt game as well. I forgot who the other Zerg was. So it will be fun. I'm excited, but above all, I'm curious to see what Scarlett will bring to the table, because he's definitely been switching it up in this matchup. And I think we're once more going to be a little surprised by what he will display.
Well, we are in game now, and spawning down in the lower left-hand position, playing for Team Liquid, we've got the blue Terran player who won game number 1, looking to take this game and close out the series. We've got Bunny. And his opponent up to the top left, the red Zerg, playing for Team Acer, coming back in that second game, staying on NA, so maybe has a slight latency advantage here. It's Scarlett.
How did you do the coin flip? Is that like, did you go to some website, coin flip or something?
My admin did it, so I don't know if he actually physically got a coin. I have this thing where if I ever have to do a coin flip, even in online tournaments or in any of the show matches I do, I actually have to physically flip a coin. I don't trust the websites that do it. Don't ask me why. I know it's completely irrational, but I just have to do a physical coin.
Do you know that a coin flip is not completely 50%?
I did.
Yeah.
It's something ridiculous though, isn't it? It's like 99 point something percent.
Yeah, because one side of the coin is heavier. I believe it's the tail side that is a little heavier. That's why heads will win a little more majority of the time, something like that.
Is that with all currency, or is it just?
I think with a few that were the most popular. I think definitely the 1 and 2 euro coin have it. But I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not sure how familiar you are with the euros.
I spend quite a lot of time using euros because I travel a lot with the kayaking stuff. But I know one funny thing is I brought back. At one point I went from Russia to Europe to Sweden to England. So I had 4 currencies in my wallet, and I started giving out like £2 coins, or what I thought were £2 coins in England. And I didn't realize until about halfway through the day that I was paying for things with like €2, which nobody noticed. So if you ever come to England, just bring €2 coins and you'll be fine.
You know, when they just introduced the euro, there were a lot of Dutch tourists who used to go on holidays to Thailand, and there is this coin, which I don't know how many buff it is, but it's, I don't know, if you convert it, it's like 13 cents or something, but it's exactly designed and has the exact same size, and yeah, even close to the same weight as the €2 coin, but actually it's worth 13 cents. So what people will do, they go to Thailand and they bring back like a crazy amount of those silly coins, and they would throw it in all those machines where you can buy Mars and Snickers and stuff, you know, and they would just take it. Or even gambling machines, slot machines would take it as a €2 coin. And my dad had a pop, and he was going crazy of all the fake €2 coins that he was receiving.
We had something similar in England with vending machines. There was a strange currency that was identical to like a 50p piece. And so loads of students were rinsing vending machines for the equivalent of like 3p for all their snacks, which was quite amusing while it lasted. Anyway, a bit about the game that we're watching here. Nothing too crazy is going on. We got 2 Reapers, Hellion follow-up coming down from Bunny here. Scarlett, on the other hand, grabbing out those 2 gases now. Very, very normal stuff from her as well.
Yeah, another gasless opening at first from her, even though she didn't wait a crazy amount of time. That's actually, like, I feel that those extractors are going down a little quicker than they normally would for a gasless opening. So I really wonder where he is going to go with this. And of course, he's taking both in a natural as well, which is a little harder to scout for Bunny. Bunny follows this up with that super economic opening, loses one of his Reapers. Bunny, that's an uncharacteristic mistake. Almost even ends up losing the second one, as I think he misclicked for a short second there. It's really important that he is going to pick up on these 2 extractors that are mining in that in-base natural Scarlet, because those are very, very difficult to scout. We'll see.
Oh, the second Reaper gets taken down as well there, Roddy. That is...
Wow. Okay, really, I didn't even see that.
That's really irritating. Losing both of your Reapers at this stage, it massively reduces how effective the follow-on Hellions are, because you need the Reapers in that composition to soak up some of the Queen Fire, because they can back away and then regenerate up their health with their combat drugs passive. But now with just the Hellions...
Power of the coin flip, Maddles. That's what it is. Power of the coin flip, that rigged coin. Because now the layer is halfway down. We do have circling speed going down behind this, but still, very, very quick layer for Scarlett. May allow her to go into Mutalisk ridiculously quick which could be very frustrating. It could also still be something else. I'm kind of just feeling Spire play, but I don't know. I might be wrong. We'll see. Either way, it's going to be cool.
Of course, these queens are going to be able to happily block up the gap between the debris and the rams, so the Hellions don't really have a chance of getting up there. Meanwhile, behind this, if we take a look at what Bunny's doing, he's just adding in a couple more factories, going for the reactor on that factory, so not going to be a quick starport follow-up to this. Whereas Scarlett going in for the Spire, so should be seeing some Mutalisk style play out of here, and to be honest, I quite like that on this map. I think it's going to be very strong, considering the fact you know your opponent went for the Reapers into Hellions. The Marine count's going to be a bit lower than you might expect it to be. So,
and above all, these Mutalisk are going to arrive a little quicker than Bunny would normally expect them, unless he has somehow picked up on what Scarlett is doing, but it's relatively hard for him to make that call for sure, because he didn't really see a whole lot, and he lost both of his Reapers, and he didn't throw down a single scan yet either, so it's a little tricky for him to make that call. Baning Nest is going down as well. What could be happening is that Scarlett will make a bunch of Mutalisk and then just follow it up with a lot of Zerglings and Banelings and just try to run over Bunny. Because these Mutalisks this early on can definitely slow Bunny down. As Bunny already had a slow opening, you know, very economic, but that means very slow. And also double eBay. At least he got Rex number 2 and 3 before Engineering Bay number 1 and 2. But there's definitely opportunities for Scarlett in this game.
Spire just about to finish on up. If we look at Scarlett's gas, she's got enough to produce 8, nearly 9 Mutalisks. Also good look to get the +1 down if she so chooses. Baning Nest also finishing up here as well. And if we look at, in terms of the response Bunny's got, there's 10 Marines out on the field at the moment, but he is producing 5 at a time. And that's going to really help him. Only thing he's lacking is any medevacs. Only 2 coming out now. So that's often a nice little target for Mutaflox early on, is to try and pick off the odd medevac, keep that count low. And they don't really have much to do to knock that number down to 0.
It seems like Bunny is truly inspired by Bomber's play, as he still did not throw down a single scan, and he never really got anything into the main base after that Reaper, which is a little remarkable. Not a single missile turret yet either in the natural off Bunny, and here come those Mutalisks that just show up a little quicker than you normally expect them. That is the power of dropping 2 extractors at the 5-minute mark and going up to layer before even getting Zergling speed. This is a little painful for Bunny already. 9 SCVs, 10 SCVs going down to these first 6-7 Mutalisks. That's a great opening for Scarlett.
And that's actually done a lot of damage to Bunny. 10 workers is going to really give him quite a hit straight off here. But Scarlett isn't massively up in her own economy. She's pumping out a huge number of Speedlings. A lot of Banelings morphing on through. Only down at 53 drones. Yeah. So looking to get very aggressive very quickly.
I mean, I'm feeling kind of proud now, because that's sort of what I expected, and it's sort of what I mentioned roughly 2 minutes ago. This is a really cool play, and this can definitely work. It's like those Mutalisks did a good job in slowing Bunny down, and Bunny already had a slow opening. He does have quite a few Marines though, and of course there is no creep here, so he could still split his units properly. But maybe if the Zerglings can get us around, there are a few Hellbats in the mix. This definitely has to do a lot of damage / win the game. Ooh, she's using a lot of her Banelings on those Hellbats. That could be a mistake, but perhaps it just has too much.
There's just a lot of Zerg here at the moment. A huge number of the Marines are taken down, but as you said, yeah, many of the Banelings eliminated on their Hellbats. More morphing through here. Scarlett looking to continue this on. Good production coming out from Bunny throughout this, but army supplies-wise, 55 to 26 in favor of Scarlett right now.
Yeah, this is like semi all-in. At least it's all-in that has to do a lot of damage. He's making drones behind this, so he's not going super stubborn with this. Here come the Banelings. Look at that one bunker, by the way. That's Fort Knox, man. You're not going to break that bunker very easily, but the missile turret will be broken and more SCVs will fall. But let's not underestimate how big an investment this truly was for Scarlett. She made nothing but Zerglings and Banelings for the longest amount of time. Her evolution chambers are super late. She's droning up now again behind this, but yes, she has done a lot of damage, but she still needs to do more than this. But she still has a lot of units, so it's possible.
Moving now towards that third base. A lot more Banelings heading down towards those SCVs. That should take pretty much everything down. 6 more workers killed. Does reduce the number of Banelings there. The Marines get picked up. Good control by Bunny. The Widow Mine is taken out, but not before it had triggered. Scarlett should be able to pick off this third orbital, or at least force it away.
Yeah, force it away is one thing. Picking it off, that would be massive, and I'm not sure if it's going to be that easy. The Banelings actually did break into Fort Knox, so I guess anything is possible if you truly believe in it. But picking up that orbital would have been very hard for her, because he just didn't have that many Mutalisks. And if you start putting all your damage output on that, then obviously the Marines will have free reign over the rest, and she will just end up losing a lot of units. But a lot of mining time has been lost for Bunny. A lot of SCVs have gone down throughout the entire game. 25 SCVs have died. Still though, he does have a massive upgrade advantage, and that is something that's pretty crucial in this matchup.
Those upgrades helping, as are the missile turrets up by the natural base. A nice little thought by Scarlett there to try and move into the natural to pick off a few more workers, but thwarted in that plan by the static defense. Creep spread just really starting to ramp up now by Scarlett. So many active creep tumors spreading across the map, as well as trying to grab that 4th base. But economically, she's taken... Oh, she's only just really getting to the stage where she's in a good economic spot. Lost so much ground just for going to all that aggression. And if we look at this army moving across for Bunny right now, it's very formidable.
Army. Yep. 55 Marines against only 9 Banelings now. A few more Banelings are on the way though. Scarlett, of course, would love to keep this fort base alive, but it's going to be very difficult, especially because Bunny is choosing the angle where there is no creep. And getting Banelings close to these Marines of Bunny, if there's no creep helping you, is going to get very difficult. Scarlett a little bit indecisive as well, if she wants to attack that army or not. In the end, she will end up losing that fort base. And I love how you pointed it out, Metals. It looks like Scarlett is in a fantastic economic position. You know, you look at the worker count and you see 81 drones against 49 SPs. Wow, that's amazing. But that only happened in the last 2 to 2.5 minutes in this game. So it's very, very deceiving and doesn't really represent the true state of the game and even the economic state of this game.
The Mutalisks again trying to get a little bit of damage down, but this is good missile turret coverage. Upgrades are currently 2-2 up against 0-0, although 1-1 soon to kick in for Scarlett, but an upgrade lead is still present for Bunny, which is really helping him here. Quite a few of those Banelings detonating up onto the Marauders. Good focus fire again by Bunny, who's pushing on in. 117 army supply to 86. This is the engagement though. Scarlett gonna be trying to get those Baneling connections. Good splitting by Bunny. That was beautiful.
Beautiful. Really, really beautiful army control there by Bunny. Indeed, those were Korean level splits right there. Bunny once more showing us why he is one of the best performing non-Koreans over the last few months. Just excellent, excellent army control there. Was under a lot of pressure early on, but he bounced back. And as soon as you put this guy in a good position, he knows how to work with it. Scarlett does still have a lot of Banelings and Zerglings over here though, but of course he already took so much economic damage. Still, impressive hold in the end, but doesn't take away that those were indeed very beautiful splits.
The 4th base is back up for Scarlett, so while she did lose a good number of workers, she should be able to get those back relatively soon, but she can't immediately. Having to produce a couple of Zerglings out in the immediate time to mainly replenish the Baneling count in case there's a follow-up push from Bunny. And of course, that follow-up push is already well in the making. The rally point coming across from all those racks, so much infantry making that slow advance forward, and my money would be on this 4th base being the main target of our Terran player here.
And Scarlett is getting +2 flyer attacks as well, but she only has 7 Middlers, so I don't think that's extremely useful. Of course, if this game drags on, then it will eventually be
nice little
useful.
counter-attack here. Sorry to interrupt you there.
Exactly, this is a brilliant counter-attack. Widowmine does not get the shot that Bunny was hoping for. Second one is a little bit better, still not fantastic. See, burrowed a couple of Banelings on top of the ramp medals. I'm not sure if Bunny was paying attention.
No, he wasn't. That was a beautiful move, knocking out a lot of that infantry. Scarlett is able to get a huge amount of damage done there.
Wow.
Only picking off 3 SCVs, but a lot of this infantry did manage to die. It actually forced Bunny to pull back, and I'd say that's the biggest win there for Scarlett, is she bought herself time. And that's what she really needs here. Didn't want that push coming through.
Couldn't agree more. Really well said. Bunny scanned and he sees that that fort base is down. There are still a couple of burrowed Zerglings in his middle line as well. So the moment he decides to move out, Scarlett is again going to be buying more time for herself. I really thought that this game was close to ending, but I underestimated Scarlett's ability of just not dying and never giving up. Of course, 3-3 Marines will still make this tricky, but I really feel things are going her way right now. That she's the one dictating the pace of this game. These units are trapped in the left top side of the map. The Zerglings in the main base are picking off SCVs again. Scarlett, sick. This is really well done. Wow.
She's even got units defending over at this 4th base from the single drop that was coming across. Bunny isn't really making much progress here. He took more loss, actually only took losses there really. Still losing less than Scarlett overall, but he's down at 48 SCVs, finally being able to float over this 4th command center. But Scarlett battling back into this game in a very impressive fashion, considering I definitely thought she was on the brink of defeat a long time ago with that little push across.
Yep. Yep, after that first engagement where she used all of her banelings, and it just seemed that Bunny still had so many bio units alive. It really almost seemed like it was the end. And you know, it's kind of difficult to say what is the true state of this game. I kind of still like Bunny's position. I thought that would have gone worse for him. He lost a couple of units on the left top side. Of course, there is still the drop on the top side of the map as well. Scarlett again is going to try to counterattack, but these are 3-3 bio units. You want to be careful how you engage those, because things can go very badly, very quick. But so far it looks promising. And again, she burrows a couple of banelings on the ramp. This time Bunny is aware of it though.
Bunny knocks those out nice and quick, moves up into the main to try and deal with these Mutalisks. Down to the third base, a couple of Zerglings are actually having a bit of a field day. 22 SCVs have been taken down here. This is becoming quite catastrophic. There is a counter drop, but what can it really do?
Well, it's actually doing quite a bit. Those are 3-3 Marines, and if he positions them better, they should be able to kill Zerglings for days. Banelings is a different story though. Still, it was an okay maneuver. Again, Scarlett burrowed a couple of Zerglings in the main, so he will unburrow them as soon as Bunny moves out. This is really a clinic of how to play ZvT when you're a little bit behind. Just counter-attacking, buying time for yourself. Awesome play by Scarlett. This is really exciting to watch.
It's the burrow play, which I'm absolutely loving. Just burrowing these lings and then unburrowing them is causing Bunny quite a lot of problems. He's just picking off the odd reinforcement, able to take down a couple of additional workers each time. And I'd no longer say Bunny has an advantage here. If anything, Scarlett is now getting herself into a very strong spot.
It's still 83 army supply against 68, but there are 17 additional banelings morphing. Of course, with all of those banelings, it should be enough. But it will all come down to this engagement. Look at this one Marauder. He's ready to soak up some banelings, but Scarlett wants to prevent that from happening. There's still 9 Marines at a time being produced. You see, Nimbus creates some pretty epic little ZvTs.
Worth noting that Scarlett is on equal basis to Bunny, but Bunny's down quite low in terms of the SCV count. He can make up for that with the muling. So even though the work count is heavily in Scarlett's favor, she's still not at this beautiful spot. 69 workers when you're 24 minutes in the game, never having really got up to the 70 plus mark, isn't ideal.
Only a single missile turret at that forward base of Bunny, and that missile turret is going to die almost immediately. So Bunny's going to lose even more SCVs, and that's definitely becoming painful. Even though he doesn't need that many right now, as you can only mine off 2 bases anyway, but you don't really want to drop in your low 30s. Then it's just, that's where it gets a little too risky.
These Mutalisks are going to continue on harassing. There's a good group of Marines here. A drop being attempted by Bunny at the moment. However, Scarlett is way on top of that. Should go straight towards the natural base actually. Where are the Mutalisks?
Mutalisks were all the way on the other side of the map. They're making their way over, but maybe a few drones could die over here, maybe a queen. The Spire would be a great pickup, but I don't think that Bunny's going to be able to do that. But might get a Mutalisk or 2 over here, maybe even 3. 2, 3, 4. Okay, that was a very successful drop. Picking off 4 Mutalisks like that.
Simultaneously, we've also got Bunny pushing through the center, just trying to clear out some of this creep spread, which Scarlett is doing a fantastic job of spreading across the map. Do have a nice little bit of positioning here. The banelings are going to come rolling through. Oh, that really hurts. So many banelings. And the splits are good, but there's just too many. GG. And Scarlett is going to take this series 2-1.